Hi ITZY Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are checking out ITZY Ryujin's solo Runaway, which I'm very excited for because this is going to be a little more updated from the stuff that I've heard so far from ITZY. Excited to see what she has in this song because if I remember correctly, I think she wrote part of this, at least. She was involved in writing it. You can definitely let me know down in the comments more details about that. And also there's a video for this, but it's only like half of the song. Again, don't know the details of that. You can fill me in on why that is in particular, but I'm going to be checking out a lyric video before anyway, so I'll get to hear the whole song and then check out the video for whatever that part of the song is. I won't know until I get there, but excited to kind of see, focus in on her separately, her voice individually, and see what she decided to do for her solo. Well, I'll tell you what, the aesthetic is given a little bit intense, but I guess we're gonna find out what this is all about. Ooh. Okay, guitar.
Weather's good, makeup on flake, rocking my baddest boots on my way to show off. Swing my hair back, looking right into your face. I'ma cut you off clean, blowing kisses goodbye. Toxic, 달콤했던 말이 이젠 rocket. 새까맣게 타버린 맘 아끼고 원해도 답이 없어. No, you get it, so don't play the hypocrite.
Ooh, oh no, we were switching up there. Ooh, okay. Interesting to have this like guitar just going really steady throughout this whole thing. Like the delivery that she has, like a lower tone, but like lots of like texture in her voice, right? Like lots of like vocal fry, getting those like kind of cries in there. There's lots of like tension in the way that she's holding it. The like sweet words become painful is interesting. Don't play the hypocrite is interesting too, of like, and like toxic, talking about like, hey, I know that I'm like dressing in a certain way. I know that I'm like bringing like a certain vibe or like energy, blowing kisses goodbye, having this kind of energy and saying like, hey, like don't tell me that you don't understand, or like this isn't what you're also bringing, right? Like it has this almost like, hey, I'll meet you where you're at energy, as opposed to like taking the high road, right? When somebody does you wrong, this is like, okay, I'll meet you exactly where you are. Whatever you're bringing to the table, I can bring that too, and I can do it better. That's the energy I'm getting so far, especially with like the tone that she's bringing with her voice, but we're about to switch up. Ooh. Gorgeous vocals. Ooh, okay. I have several thoughts. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to pick up like that. Like we had the guitar kind of steady through it, but I wasn't expecting having those like gorgeous like falsetto lyrics. She did a wonderful job like transitioning from like that falsetto into more of a like head voice like mix zone. Great transitions there in her voice. Having that like lift in some of it, it almost sounds like cinematic in some ways, like having some of those rock influences, but it has a little bit of a cinematic feel to it. It's kind of giving like 80s film soundtrack a little bit with some of the synths that are coming in, which I think is part of it too. Like the lyrics coming in and being like, okay, like I'll be the villain, you can run away from me, I'll let you be the main character. Like I was saying before, of her saying like, okay, you're gonna walk in here and be a terrible person and be toxic and do all these terrible things to me. I'm gonna meet you where you're at. I'm gonna cut this clean, right? I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna kiss goodbye, walk out of here, and I'll be the worst person I possibly can be if it means I'm not stuck here, right? Like I don't want to be forced to stay. Like, hey, as long as there's a clean break here, I don't care if that means I have to be the villain in your story. And I love that like vibe, bringing that energy to this. I think that that's such an interesting take on any kind of relationship, right? Like we could talk about that from a love relationship place, right? Like a romantic relationship, of when you kind of get stuck in one of those relationships with someone who's not great and you need to make that clean break. Like you can't just like use kindness and like be kind to get your way out of it. Sometimes you have to just be mean. Sometimes you have to be selfish and say that you have those boundaries and walk away from something and hurt someone if it means that you like protect yourself in response to that person being terrible to you. And so that means that sometimes you have to be okay with being the bad guy in somebody's story. Or it could be with, you know, it could be friendships. It could be dealing with being an idol and being in the spotlight, right? Like it isn't specified specifically like what that relationship is, but this idea of like, hey, you know, as an idol, as a female idol, there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure that she's had to deal with. This is a lot later in the career of ITZY than I'm at currently going through their discography, but I'm sure that they've had to deal with a lot of things, and having a very strong energy at their start of their career of like, hey, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to be different. I'm going to break that mold that you want me to fit into. And if you're not okay with that, I guess you're just going to have to watch me succeed from the sidelines, right? Like you're just going to have to sit back and watch because I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to be great at it. And having that strong of an energy is definitely going to rub people the wrong way. Doing something different is going to rub people the wrong way, right? Being an outlier and making yourself stand out is always going to make some people uncomfortable with your presence. So I'm sure that there were lots of instances of her being like, okay, fine. You're going to say terrible things about me anyway. Let me be the bad guy then. Let me like fit into that role at the very least to like protect my own sanity, to protect who I am as a person. But I love the vocal delivery. She did a great job of like pulling up her chest voice at certain points, like gorgeous like vocal delivery. She's not doing like, she did like some of the falsetto. She got into some parts of her range, but she's not like belting. She's not doing anything like super like show stopping, but like it has something like gritty and like emotional to it, right? Like it's not trying to be like super like over the top with her vocal delivery, but in that there's something a little bit more like raw to the emotion that she's expressing. Like, listen to those beautiful notes. I like how the guitars shift in the chorus. Like you can be the pitiful main character. I like that too. It almost sounds like breathless in the way that she's performing it. Oh, like listen to the way that her voice is different here. Like she's got like a little vibrato in there. Her voice is gorgeous. Like I knew that on like a logical level. I've definitely heard her voice in certain parts of songs and been like, wow, I really like her vocal delivery there. She has lots of fun with her delivery. She has lots of character to the way that she presents herself. But she's doing like so many different things in this. And I love that too, of her being like, okay, like if I need to step into a role of being like the bad guy in this story, fine. You can be the pitiful main character. I'll fit into that role. What mask do you need me to wear to like make yourself feel better, as long as it means that I don't have to do this anymore, right? It's almost this like exhausted, like fed up, like just done with the situation, right? And even the like cry babe, like that's all that you need, like this idea of like, okay, fine, cry, make a fuss, do all of the things, make people feel bad for you, and say that I'm the bad person in the situation. Do it. I'm done. Just the way that she's bringing in so much of that like emotion into this. I'm gonna listen to this song so much. And the guitars are different here too. That's fun. Ooh, I won't leave a single trace of regret. Sorry, I interrupted because I was like, won't leave a single trace of regret as a line, and then she popped off with the vocals again. A little cry. Ooh, again, we're kind of, in this one, we're kind of getting some more like love romantic leaning stuff, right? Her saying like this can't be love. And then even like two together in the film, this idea of like living out almost like a perfect love story or something that is very like cinematic. Like I was saying before, there's a certain like cinematic feel to the production to this, but almost with this like ironic, like bitter tone to it, right? Like it's almost like a cheeky kind of cinema as opposed to something that's like a really emotive love ballad that you can sometimes get some of those cinematic feelings, like OST feelings. This instead is this feeling of like, all right, fine, like you want to make this a melodrama, let's do it. I'll be like a villain in one of those stories, fine. And this idea of like, what was the line after this of like till it like runs out, like spoiled by the time, before it becomes spoiled by the time, I think is what, yeah, like this idea of it seemed like a love story for a little while, it seemed like something from a movie, it seemed perfect, and then over time it got ruined, right? Like it's lasted too long now that magic is gone. Feels like a headbanger. Wait. Even the like, I'll take the ugly part of like this like someone has to be the bad guy if this is going to end. I'll do it, right? Like you can be the main character, you can be the hero, you can be the one who cries, you can be the one that everyone is empathizing with. I just can't do this anymore. Like there's this like tired like frustration to some of the way that she's presenting, like not just like the lyrics but like her performance. Like I was saying, there's like almost this like grittiness to her vocal delivery that has this feeling of like I just can't anymore, like I can't do this. There isn't even like that burst of like outrage or anything in it, right? Like there isn't anything that feels like this huge explosion of emotion. It's just like I'm done. And I love that she's bringing so much of that into the performance of this. Like you can hear these little like cries, these beautiful transitions into her like falsetto, and you can get some of that kind of like vocal fry grit to it. It never is like this huge burst of power in her voice. And maybe that'll change as we go on, but you know, especially as we're getting to like a bridge, but it definitely has this feeling of like, I'm not doing this anymore, right? It's like this like simmering rage as opposed to like an outburst or anything like that. Oh. No, we're going back for that whole thing, because what do you mean her voice, gorgeous upper part of her range, but then that transition from like falsetto, head, mix, chest, gorgeous, beautifully done, chills. Wow, she's a good vocalist. Again, I knew that on like a logical level. I knew that she would have to be, and I've heard snippets where I'm like, wow, she's really good. I feel like this is just a huge flex though. Dang. And she's a dancer too. Like she's like before. Wow, okay, no, I'm interesting. Noted. That acoustic, like that note, ugh. Beautifully done. Ooh. With just the guitar? Ooh, wait. Lyrics. I'll hate you. If we aren't happy together, I'll hate you to death. yo, I was just like, huh, she's a really good singer. And then that lyric smacked me in the face. I feel like I need a minute. Dang. Look, I said that this song sounded bitter, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that lyric. Wow. Did she help write this? Because that, no, see, this is why I always like doing solo stuff, doing like birthday focused stuff, because it gives me a moment especially when I'm first getting into a group, because it gives me a moment to be like, oh, you're like a powerhouse on your own, and then put you into the group with the other powerhouses, and that's why this group has the kind of impact that it does. Dang, I wasn't ready. Ooh, with that little like fret slide on like the bass. Wow. I feel like my brain's gonna have to calibrate to that one. You know, like the best way of me being like flabbergasted, a little speechless. I love a good rock inspired song. Give me like a rock ballad like that, and I'm like, absolutely. But I was thinking, one of the things that I really like the musical choice there is that we have the drums, but they're not like super heavy drums. They have the almost like brush. I don't know what those are called. I'm not a drummer, but those like brushes that they use to instead of like drumsticks. And because of that, it's a much higher sound on the drums. It doesn't have that huge like boom sound that you get with some drums. We're kind of relying on some of the bass to do the work there to fill in the lower part of the end. But that means that you don't have that like steady booming beat throughout this, which usually is like the heartbeat of this song. This song literally doesn't have a heartbeat to it, which is like, that's such a cool decision. I mean, and maybe am I reaching for that? Maybe, but it's like there's literally none of that kind of like kungs throughout the whole song, right? And I'm like, if that was like an actual conscious decision, I think I might be like a little obsessed. There's a behind the scenes, right? Like surely there's a video. If she's part of the writing, there has to be a video that is like, here's how the song was put together, or the album, I guess, maybe with Born to Be, right? That's the album that this is from. I'd have to look it up. Wow. Now I'm just like more curious why the video doesn't seem to be the whole song. How do you not give the whole song in a video? Anyway, we're going to check it out though. I'm excited to see what visuals we're going to get. I'm just more upset that this video isn't the whole song. It's fine, whatever. Let's see what you got for me. It seems already interesting. I mean, we have the disco ball, and I was like, this gives me 80s film. Ooh. You look like you're being through something. Ooh, the eyes. Ooh, oh, okay, no. I was like, this is giving me like 80s movie vibes, and it seems like we're definitely going a bit retro with this. The way she closes the phone on the beat is great, just like a little bit of syncing up. The acting in her eyes is great, like the shift in there, and then the way that we got like a little bit of a smirk when she said hypocrite, excellent acting. Oof. You seem like you need a break. Okay, run away from me. Ooh. All of these like shifting emotions is also kind of crazy. Like in the mirror, in like watching the TV, having like these different settings, like these really quick succession edits, almost showing like the turmoil of the like this relationship, right? Of saying like, hey, like one moment you're sad, one moment you're happy, one moment you're laughing, one moment you're crying. Like the phone calls, they're like pushing everything off of the table, being like this chaotic environment, right? Both like the setting is chaotic, but then also her like emotions and performance are chaotic. Her performance is great in this. Like the acting, great job from her. I like the saturation differences too in the scenes. Dang, what'd that teddy bear do? Ooh, I was also thinking, okay, we have like the fish, which is interesting, like being stuck in like an environment, right? Like being stuck in, like going around in a contained environment and feeling like you can't get out, symbolic. But then I was like, oh, what did that teddy bear do to you? And I'm like, kind of symbolic to be like, hey, literally like fighting this teddy bear and then finding comfort in it as well, given the kind of relationship or the kind of dynamic that is being described in the song, right? That back and forth, that up and down, this switching of constantly being like not knowing what you're going to have to be dealing with, always having these chaotic like emotions and drastic shifts in emotions. Having the bed without sheets on it is also concerning. Cool shot. I love the slow down. Like, ooh. Dang, she said single tear. That's how dramatic she can be. Great though, like lining that up with that shot of like, I guess I'll let go, having more of this like serious like eye contact or like performance, but also having that tear, like it's still like a loss in some ways. It's still like acknowledging that something has gone wrong, but then also having this like slow down in like the camera with the kind of delay on the frame rates. I don't know enough about cinematography to better describe that, but having that in this part where the instrumentation slows down and the vocal melodies slow down, so it's like literally this moment of let me slow down all of the chaos that we've seen up to this point, of this like rapid editing between all of these different scenes, slow everything down and have a little like introspection of like, I know that I have to let go of this, I know that I have to move on from this relationship because it's causing too much chaos. Even like the makeup, like the like redness around her eyes. They didn't get my favorite line in there. Now I'm even more upset about this video not being the full song. I feel like I'm too early in the fandom to be like that upset, be like the injustice of it. But I think she did a great job with that. I don't know exactly all that went into creating that video in terms of like her involvement with it. Definitely people can let me know either in the comments or like point me in the direction of where I can find like behind the scenes kind of stuff. But great acting from her, and I think they did a really good job of like showing some of the turmoil of this while also like having her on her own, right? Like I think that having Ryujin like isolated for this video was also very symbolic, right? Like the person that is causing all this turmoil is not there to see the damage, because it's like both trying to separate that from them, but also because it can be isolating when you're stuck in a tumultuous relationship like that, right? That person is not a support system for you anymore, which means that you can feel like you're kind of stuck on your own to deal with the fallout of it. Great song, like great performance from her, both like in terms of the acting here and vocals. And I feel like I'm gonna have to sit with this one for a little bit, because I'm a little bit instantly obsessed. I don't even know what to do with myself anymore, because I went into this being like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great, you know, like I'm gonna enjoy this. I have yet to listen to any song from ITZY and not have it be something that I'm like constantly going back to listen to. But I was not expecting to be speechless. I was not ready to have to actually process in real time what was happening, and because of our reaction I'm trying to like move along a little bit more than I would have if I was listening to this on my own. But wow, no, lyricism, vocal performance. I feel like her doing that bridge where she starts off in that like higher register and she just like works her way down into that lower part of her range is such a flex, and is also just like beautifully symbolic of like going from the highest highs down to the lowest lows, right, over the course of that kind of introspection and like what this relationship has become. Just gorgeous. I feel like there's so many details in this that I'm just gonna like find as I continue to listen to it, because I'm gonna be listening to it a lot. And justice for the fact that we didn't get the whole song in a video. I understand that there was probably like a bunch of logistic things that went into that, but it didn't even have my favorite lines in it, so like I'm gonna continue to be mad. But I hope you enjoyed listening to that along with me. You can click those plays to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post an ITZY reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.